Today, I've asked everyone to circle their worst wrinkle, the area they wish looked smoother and younger. I did it to help us answer one big question. What's the most important product you can use to target that spot that you circled? Is it a moisturizer? Is it a lotion? Is it something else? Well, the powerful anti-aging secret I want you all to use is, are you ready?
Yes.
Alpha hydroxy acids. They're making a big comeback, and we're now learning that they can fight the signs of aging deep under your skin, deep inside of you. Now, they're cheap, they're easy to use, and by the end of today, you're going to know what type of alpha hydroxy acid is best for you. So we find out why you circled yourselves and where you went. Noreen, you want to join us first?
Sure.
Stan, if you don't mind.
Sure.
So you circled under your eyes.
Yes.
Why there?
Because as I age, I look in the mirror and I want to cry. I want to walk out with my sunglasses because when I look at pictures when I was younger, it looks smooth, and I used to get carded up until I was 30. I swear I hit 35, and they're like, go ahead, get out of here.
So you want to get carded going forward?
Yeah, that would be great.
Is that an aspiration many of you have, getting carded? Yeah. So what do you do for your under-eye wrinkles?
I've tried every cream imaginable. So I do a nightly cream, and I don't know if it works or not. I definitely feel a difference when I don't use it. But I've even done, like, for allergies, I think it's from rubbing my eyes, so I've used eye drops and, you know.
You're going to like our suggestions today. Thank you very much. I also have Tara. Tara, how are you?
Hi, good, how are you?
Now, where'd you circle?
I circled around my laugh lines.
Yeah, I should point out, some people circle their whole face. It doesn't count. It doesn't count at all. So I'm glad you specified there. And why there?
Well, when I look in the mirror now, I see the dimples I always dreamed of.
All right, and when you see those wrinkles, does it make you feel...
A little older.
Right. You want to get carded also?
Yes, I do.
All right, thank you for sharing those stories. So I'm going to show you how alpha hydroxy acids can help you smooth out the fine lines that you all hate the most. So I'm going to bring in dermatologist Dr. Jeanette Graff. Thanks for joining us, Dr. Graff.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
So, we just got some good insights about the wrinkles and how they bother folks. Why is it that alpha hydroxy acids are making such a big comeback?
Well, there's a lot of new research about alpha hydroxy acids. They are natural acids that are found in fruits, in milk. And what they do is they take this dead skin cell layer, which collects as we get older, making our lines and wrinkles look deeper, and it removes them and renews the skin. And nothing works as effectively as an alpha hydroxy acid.
Now, they are found. These are weak acids, right? They're gentle ones. They're found in foods like sugarcane. They're found in milk. They're found in fruits like apples and lemons and oranges. And they're the ingredients in a lot of different products, right? They're in moisturizers, they're in cleansers, they're in masks. And because they're so widely used, it makes sense. They probably were used a long time ago as well. In fact, Cleopatra's anti-aging rituals a couple thousand years ago included a milk bath, which was basically to help exfoliate and to smooth her skin. It was a type of alpha hydroxy acid. So you're arguing, if I understand correctly, there's not a single woman in this audience or watching us right now on television who should not be using alpha hydroxy acids.
Absolutely correct.
So does alpha hydroxy acid work better in some age women than others?
Actually, alpha hydroxy acids work well in all ages, in all age groups. But if you're older when you try it for the first time and you have a greater collection of dead skin, you will see a bigger difference.
That might be good news for a lot of folks.
That's right.
All right, the other thing I don't understand is why did we stop using it? Because it was there at the very beginning. So, Noreen, if I can ask you a question.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried alpha hydroxy acid?
I tried it a long time ago thinking I could avoid this, but it made my skin very dry and a little bit red, and I didn't think I could use it under my eyes, to be honest. So.
Wow. And did you have a reaction to it?
Yeah, I felt like I got red, dry skin from it, so then I stopped using it.
Oh, so you thought it was from the alpha hydroxy acid?
Yeah, I thought it
reaction.
was from that. So I don't know.
And Tara, have you ever used it?
No.
Never tried it?
Not that I know of.
Not that you know of. I love that. Had you ever heard of it before?
I've heard of it, but I hear of a lot of things, and I'm busy, and when I have that moment to write something down, I run to the store to get it, and I'm not sure if that's in it.
Right. So Dr. Graff, I mean, since it was there, and probably, certainly at the beginning of our careers, why do you think it changed? Why did it drop out of favor?
Well, for exactly the reason that we heard, because initially when they first came out, many of the alpha hydroxy products were irritating. So there were a lot of complaints, and then they fell out of favor with a number of people. Many people still use them, but I have to say there's two reasons. One is the formulations today are completely different. So they're pretty safe to use, and they've kind of perfected them so all skin types can use them. And depending on where you use them, you can use them around the eye area in eye creams. You can use them on the face in serum form. You can use them on the body on different areas. But the other thing is we're bombarded by so many skincare products today that it's hard for consumers to know what they should be using. So it's great that we're revisiting this topic because it is so important.
Well, once I understood the research on alpha hydroxy acid, I felt really passionate about getting this up because so many folks ask questions around skincare, and we've got, sometimes we think we have the basics, but I think a lot of it is marketing. All right, let me show you all why I think it's the most important thing for you to have in your skincare collection. So here's an animation of what your skin looks like. Many of you complain that you sort of have a dullness to your face. The reason for that is the old skin cells lie there and they sort of hang out and they cause these little valleys and crevices, and that reflects the light weirdly, so you look dull when you look in the mirror. Now, if you put on alpha hydroxy acids, they coat the entire surface of the skin, but they also go deep under the skin. Does that make sense? When it goes through the skin, it creates a new environment for the cells lying under there. Now, that environment makes these cells vulnerable and it makes these cells more likely to die quickly. That's a good thing because that means that those older cells leave faster. They allow new, vibrant, young cells to come to the surface. They don't have those nooks and crannies and valleys, so they don't reflect the light in weird fashions. And because of that, you'll have that more youthful looking skin. And if I'm hearing correctly, you may even see this benefit more in folks who are a bit older. So it's a smart thing to revisit. Let's bring in Julie, who says her daily anti-aging skincare routine is a very involved process. So you took some video of your typical nighttime routine.
I did, yes.
As you all watch it, how many steps do you go through? Describe this for us.
There's about 7, 8, sometimes 9. It could go on forever.
9 steps? Why so many things?
I'm trying to get rid of these wrinkles. I have a young daughter. So I feel like I've got to do something with these things.
It is dizzying. I mean,
it really is.
So how long have you been doing this for?
You know what? Over 20-something years.
20 years,
Over
9 steps
20
a
years,
night.
Yes. And anyone could vouch for me if they look in my bathroom cabinet. I have every product out there you can imagine.
The people in your life must be...
They don't know what I do in there.
Exactly.
They have no idea what I do
So
in there.
when you were trying to buy an anti-aging beauty product, what do you look for?
I look for anything that says anti-wrinkle, smoothing cream, anything that has to do with wrinkles, I buy it. So,
Dr. Graff seems like she's got everything covered. Is she missing anything?
Well, I think that we could actually save you some time because we could probably cut out 3 of those steps, and just by adding an alpha hydroxy acid, we could take care of several of those steps.
Okay.
Do you exfoliate, Julie?
I do. I use a little brush. I use scrubs. I use micro bubbles. I use everything.
So a lot of different ways of exfoliating.
Yes.
This is a part of the story that I only learned recently and I'm fascinated by, alpha hydroxy acid. How would you compare that to other exfoliants that Julie's using?
I would say that alpha hydroxy acids are smart. So when you put them on your skin, there is a reaction that happens because of how they interact with your skin. Whereas a physical abrasive or something that's mechanical, you control. So it can sometimes be to the point of too much of a good thing or not enough. So that's where I like alpha hydroxy acids.
Now, you hear so much, though, about different acids. I mean, glycolic acid, salicylic acid.
Mm-hmm.
Are they all the same thing?
No, they're different. Salicylic acid is a different type of acid, but glycolic acid is one type of alpha hydroxy acid, as is lactic acid, citric acid.
I'm going to cover that in a moment, but I want to show you first why it's so important to use products that can strip away that dead level of skin, because otherwise you're wasting your money. A lot of those chemicals you're putting on your face aren't actually getting to the skin where they need to be in order to help you achieve that young, youthful skin that you desire. So come on over here. So I built you a little flower garden.
Thank you.
You like flowers?
I love flowers.
All right. So this is actually a metaphor for your skin. Right? And these youthful, beautiful flowers down below here are the young skin cells that need to feel the nutrients that you give them. When you try to put creams, serums, chemicals on your face to allow you to age more gracefully, you need the chemicals, the plant food, so to speak, to get to the plants. But on our face, we naturally have old, dead skin cells. And there's a covering with those dead skin cells that makes it really hard for the plant food to get to where it needs to go. You see, those plants aren't getting any of this at all. Nothing's happening. Nothing's going through whatsoever. You're starving your skin cells that need the nutrients, and you're wasting your time and you're wasting your money. This is true for all of you who've circled parts of your face. That's why the first thing you need to do when you're going to put something that might be beneficial on you is to get rid of these other skin cells, the old stuff you don't want there. So alpha hydroxy acid wipes all this away. And by doing that, you now have an environment where you can take nutrients, whatever those serums and creams and potions you're using, and you can get that material to these young skin cells that desperately need it. So now you can water the skin just where it needs to be. Right? That's why exfoliation is so important. So Dr. Graf, how much more valuable would Julie's anti-aging solutions be if she was able to do this?
Well, just from your excellent demonstration, you can see dramatically different. It will be dramatically improved because it's like removing a barrier to your house. It's opening a door so you can enter. Think of all the ingredients that are just sitting on your skin, not getting in because that layer of dead skin is blocking.
What's the best type of alpha hydroxy acid for dry, for oily, or for combination skin? Let's bring in sisters Sharon and Alicia. Now, Sharon says her skin is very dry. Is that correct?
It is very dry.
And have you ever used alpha hydroxy acid before?
I used alpha hydroxy probably 15 years ago, but as soon as I put it on my face, it just burned. And I had to wipe it off immediately.
So, Dr. Graf, common complaint. Should Sharon give it the alpha hydroxy acid another shot?
Definitely. Also, 15 years ago, they were more irritating. But for someone like you, Sharon, whose skin is dry, or for darker skin tone patients, or patients with sensitive skin, conditions like rosacea, I recommend the polyhydroxy acids. Now, I'm going to put some on your hand. This is in a serum form. You can get them in serums, you can get them in cleansers, you can get them as moisturizers. And you dab this around your face and just blend it in.
And all my wrinkle spots?
I would put it everywhere because what
Oh,
it's
no, I have
also
wrinkles everywhere.
what it does is it helps to even out your skin tone too. So just think, what's in that dead skin cell layer? Age spots, wrinkles, everything looks accentuated. So when you exfoliate that top layer, the skin looks brighter and more even toned, and you can just
I like
blend
the way
it
it
in.
feels.
Yeah, it feels very
So
smooth.
it's a new generation of an
Yes.
anti-aging serum. And how often should Sharon be using it?
Sharon could use this every night. And this is a serum, so you could put your moisturizer on right over it, or if this is fine, you can just leave it and sleep like this.
So is this sufficient just to use this by itself?
If it's moisturizing enough for you, if you have dry skin, you may want to put a moisturizer over it, but I also like it on the neck, on the chest. These are areas that have aging skin. You can put it on the back of your hands.
But in theory, you could just use the alpha hydroxy acid, use nothing else besides that. If your skin doesn't feel dry, then you're good to go.
You're good to go. Most of the time, if you're using a serum, you may want to put a moisturizer over it because the serums are very concentrated, so they may be a little bit tight, or they may make your skin feel a little tight, so you may want to put a moisturizer over it.
How does it feel, Sharon?
It feels smooth.
She got a
I
dab
don't
at her
like
nose. We
things
should clean that off. Otherwise, people complain about it.
It's got to smooth it out a little bit.
Okay.
I love sisters.
Let's take a look. Yeah, very good. You did a good job.
Does it burn?
Not a bit.
Not a bit.
No, I could keep it on now.
Okay.
I'm not like grabbing the raw rag and trying to get it off as quickly as possible.
So your sister Alicia has a very different kind of skin. You argue your skin is oily?
My skin is very oily, yes. It's shiny, all the time shiny, and I'm usually always blotting or, trying to put more powder on to cover up the shine. It's just a mess.
It's like an oil slick.
Oh, huge oil slick. It's like, bright, shiny light when I walk out in the sun.
Dr. Graf, what do you recommend for oily skin? So we already covered dry skin.
For oily skin, I recommend glycolic acid. Glycolic acid is the strongest of the alpha hydroxy acids. It penetrates quickly. So if you have oily or acne-prone skin, glycolic acid is great to use. You can use it in a light lotion or in a cream, and you would put it on much the same way as, just a little bit on your face, just rubbing a small amount.
A small
You
amount?
could also... You spot it, distribute it, and put it everywhere. I would also recommend that you could use a cleanser that contains glycolic acid also.
No, how about that spot there?
We're having a quick fight.
She's trying to help you.
Thanks, sis.
I know, I'm just making you beautiful. Where this is,
It's priceless. Never changes. Now, while they're bickering over here, what about the in-between skin type? So if you're not dry, you're not oily, what do you recommend?
Combination normal skin types, I like lactic acid, which as we know comes from sour milk. Lactic acid is great because it moisturizes, it exfoliates. It exfoliates. It's found pretty widely, and you can use it. You find it in a lot of body moisturizers also because it's great for the body. So it's a really good moisturizer for oily and combination skin.
And just to make it clear for everybody, what is the most effective way to use alpha hydroxy acid? Once you find the right kind for your skin type, what's the formula for that?
The most effective form is either a serum, a lotion, or a cream because they are leave-on products. So when you put them on your skin, the alpha hydroxy is able to stay there. If you can add a cleanser for added benefits, but if you use just a cleanser, you're rinsing it off, so you're not going to get as lasting benefits.
And what about sun exposure? Because I know once you've taken that superficial layer of skin off, you've taken protection off as well.
That's right. The alpha hydroxy acids will make the skin more sensitive to the sun, so absolutely every single day of the year, you should use a broad spectrum sunblock, UVA and UVB, with an SPF of 30.
Otherwise, you're wasting all the benefit
Right.
of what we're trying to do here.
Right.
Thank you very much. You guys can keep quibbling over here if you want.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out on new videos to live the good life.